Alright, what's going on? We're back to number 4 in the video series, and I had some requests to see how I go about powder coating stuff, so I figured I'd get everything set up and show you what I do to get the parts done. Um, Again, by no means a professional, but we're gonna run you through what I do. Mainly, it's just cleanliness, keeping everything clean, making sure you have good electrical connections between your machine and your part. I'll run you through how I check that out, and then we'll powder coat a part from start to finish and show you the end result. All right, just to start, we'll run through some of the items I gather up. Like I said, cleanliness is a big deal, so I have brake cleaner. Keep the oils and everything of your hands off to get a better finish. You're going to want some type of glove. My wife's a nurse, so she brought these home for me. Got your powder coat, of course. You want a conductive wire to hang for fixturing. Sometimes you can use hooks, which I have here. These are just in your like clothing section, you know, for your hanging rack. Anything that will conduct electricity is what you need. And so this is just picture wire. I got some brushes for cleaning. I have the paper towels, lint free. Any lint that sticks to it will show up in your coat. Gloves, because you're going to be grabbing stuff that's going to be hot. This, I did not use it first, and then after a couple times of coating and finding powder in, you know, my ears, nose, and everything, I wear that now. Then as far as the gun itself, I see a lot of people buying really expensive guns. This is just a Harbor Freight gun. I think they're like 80 bucks online, and I don't see what a $200-300 gun will get me that this one doesn't. I have no issues with it as long as you keep it clean and your system. I mean, you only need 10 to 30 psi. I run 15 on this, and have had no issues. Any errors I've had in my powder coating are directly related to something I did wrong. Now to check your gun, or to check your how good of an electrical charge you're going to get, if you have an ohm meter or if you have any type of electrical meter, go to your continuity test, and you're going to want to put your two prongs from your wire off of your lead off of your gun to whatever you're going to be hanging to. You could grab on here as well, but I got a better connection hanging on these wires. And just run a continuity test from this sensor, or from your wire here to your part, and you'll see if you get a good connection, it'll beep. If you're getting a good connection, then when that puts out the negative charge to your part, which draws in the powder, you get a much more even, clean coat. Alright, I'm going to start by getting everything cleaned up. From handling these, you're going to have finger oils, grease. Actually, so you can see anywhere you touch, you're going to get rust. I've got fingerprint marks in here. It's just surface rust right now, so I just wipe it off. So start by getting the gloves on. The less contact you can have with your part, the better. And you also want to make sure the gloves you're using don't have any grease or anything on the outside, because that's commonly what they're used for. Keep it off your hands. So I use my welding gloves because they're nice and thick, they're flexible, and they never contact grease or oils. So get this first one prepped up. I will not be powder coating the inside of this because that's going to get filled with a bushing that's going to be greased anyway. I'm just cleaning it out to get any residuals off. Now I'm going to load up the hooks to hang it. I have the part hung up right now. I have coated 2 parts already, so these hooks are going to hang in there and bake with it, and the powder will actually bake to those hooks. So you have to clean them up a little bit, or just buy extra hooks. I didn't, but clean them up with a wire wheel. As you can see, it's a little bent because the wire wheel grabbed a hold of it. So I started using a file to clean them up, but I'm going to run a continuity test just to make sure I'm still getting a good connection and that powder coat is not covering up where I'm contacting. If it is, you won't get a good charge and you will not get a good coat. So I'll show you how I run through that. Just come over here and set my meter. It's my continuity test. It's reading good, so we'll go up and check. If we're getting a beep, we'll know we're still good to coat. I'm going to run it to my lead off of the gun and then right to the part. So there, we're good. So I mean, technically we're fine. I like checking both sides. So we're fine on both sides, so we are ready to spray this one. Actually, no, we're not. Alright, I had mentioned in the previous section that we were ready to spray. We're actually not. Earlier on, I had cleaned the parts with brake cleaner. That will actually still leave a residue on there, and other cleaners may as well. So what good practice is, preheat your oven, get it warm, and you actually stick your part in there for about 5 minutes or so, and that will burn off anything in there that is left over from cleaning it before you spray. So right now, I'm presetting my oven to 400 degrees. Every powder, I buy all my stuff through Prismatic Powders. There's other companies. Prismatic lays great. I haven't had any issues with it, so don't plan on switching. The Prismatic powder, though, they actually send you a sheet with each powder, and it tells you how long to bake it for. Most of them are 400 degrees for 12 minutes. That's 12 minutes after you witness flow. So as soon as you stick it in there, your timer doesn't count. Your timer doesn't start until you see it flowing. Right now, I'm at 225 on my oven, so I'm going to stick this part in here, get the cleaning products burned off of it, and then we'll yank it back out and start spraying. Alright, part just got pulled out of the oven, so we're going to go ahead and spray it with some powder coat. So I'll get the mask on, get the voltage turned on, and air pressure set to 15 psi. Powder coat's in, so I think we're ready to go. got the part loaded in there. Got it off the rack. One thing I want to mention is, before you start coating or doing anything, make sure you run through the whole process like a dry pass. Run through, make sure you can get from your coating area to your oven without bumping anything, without running anything over, without tripping on anything. Make sure that your part can get into the oven without bumping anything. As soon as you touch that powder, it's going to leave a bald spot on the part, and you'll notice it, and it's a bummer, because then you have to start. You can probably recoat it. I've never had much luck with it. You can always tell. So we'll get some pictures of it inside the oven. But you can see I even like test hung it in here before to see which bars I had to go to make sure it was going to not touch the walls or anything. So we'll let that go until we start seeing it melt. Once it starts melting or flowing, then start the timer for 12 minutes and we'll pull it out of there. Alright, just yanked the part out of the oven, and I'd say it looks pretty good. Get some video close up on it so you can see it. I did take the wire brush before I stuck it in there and cleaned out the inside of where the bushings are growing. I don't think it would put up too much of a fight getting the bushings in there if I just let the powder coat go on there and melt, but I cleaned it out just to keep it like the rest of them. But I mean, the gloss and everything on it looks great. I don't have any thin spots that I can see. I was saying, this is all done pretty much with cheap parts, Harbor Freight stuff, which, you know, nothing against Harbor Freight. I have a lot of their tools in here, and if you take some care with them, I've never really had any problems with them. I mean, some stuff obviously isn't going to work, but I've had good tools break too. So, but yeah, there's that one. Then once they're all done, I've got one here fully assembled, pressed in all my bushings and everything. And this is, if this is the only video you've seen of mine, this is actually the Fat Fender Garage PB Fab Porterbuilt Fabrication 4-link kit that I'm putting on my 56, and I'm pretty happy with how all this is turning out. It's looking really good. That's gonna look nice when I get it underneath there and get the whole truck done sometime eventually, if ever. But yeah, there's a start to finish powder coating. Hopefully that helps. Do your own stuff, save you some money. Shoot me some videos, let me see what you do. Thanks.